Hi everyone and welcome back to Mr. Moo's Models. Today this is going to be the final reveal video for my 1272 Airfix Harrier GR3 that I've built for the 50th anniversary of the Hawker Siddeley Harrier Buddy Build hosted by Martin Lamont. It's been a cracking group build, and today is the 31st of March and it is the final reveal date. Well, the deadline for submitting your final reveals. So this is just popping in just in the nick of time really. The time is 16:32. So yeah, it's in time. So what do we think? Well, the group build in itself has been absolutely fantastic. There's been some absolute stunning work, and today I've been on Facebook and I've been looking at the final reveals pouring in the last couple of hours or so. There's been quite a lot of submissions, and there's been some absolute stunning work by everybody on the group. All scales, 1 to 144 to 124, and everything in between, and all nationalities of the Harrier as well. So British Harriers, USMC Harriers, Spanish Harriers, Indian Harriers. I don't know whether I've seen any sort of, I think the Thai might have had some Harriers, and I know Italy certainly did. I don't know whether I saw any of those, but there's been such a variety of scales and models. It's been absolutely fantastic. Myself, my group build for my entry was the Harrier GR3 as operated down in the Falklands on Op Corporate in 1982. And we'll get around to showing you the final bit for the final reveal shortly. I've enjoyed the build. There's been some challenges somewhere, some parts along the line, but that's my fault. It's by my doing. It's not the actual kit. The kit's a fantastic kit. It's a variant of the GR1. I know that the vertical stabiliser apparently isn't tall enough for something, but for me it looks like Harrier GR3, and I'm happy with that. I'm not Rivet counting here, so there's some artistic license in the way it's presented, but I'm happy with the way it's presented. So what we'll do is we will get the camera pointing down at the bench. I will sort of do a bit of a video walk around, and then I will do some final reveal photos of the aircraft, which I'll slot in behind us as a slideshow. Here you have it as it's sort of finally displayed on the little base that I've made for it. It's just a simple way of depicting it in flight, and I'm quite fond of doing it like this. It's nothing special. Anyway, so the aircraft itself. Straight out of the bat, I'm a little bit disappointed with my satin coat. To me it's a bit too glossy, and unfortunately I don't really have much, well, I haven't had enough time really to come back in and correct it. That's basically my only major complaint. There's a couple of little bits and bobs and seams which probably could have been done a bit better, but all in all it is turned out quite alright, I think. What I'm going to do is I'm going to just pan the camera around and bring it all the way in so you can see the aircraft better. There you go. Right, so now we've got the aircraft a little bit more zoomed in. What we're going to do is just have a little spin around so you can see it, and then I'm also filming on the iPhone at the top, so I'll be able to combine the images from both. As you can see, there's the LGB dropping away. It's a little bit fragile and shaky when you move it around, so you have to be quite delicate, but it's there. There we go, bringing it around. As I say, just a little bit too glossy for my liking really, but you know, it's okay. It's one of those, when you haven't got the bright light shining on it. I mean, I've got a big sort of softbox light and a spotlight here to give us plenty of light for the videos. When you haven't got the light shining on it, it's not as shiny. So I mean, I think that the paintwork in those days was like a semi-gloss rather than a satin anyway. So I suppose South Atlantic, springtime, it would have been quite a dirty aircraft, and would have been quite sort of dulled down by that. So on the top there, there we go, we can see just spinning it around again for you on the top, just so you can get all those sort of effects there. Just there we go. As I say, it's a little bit shiny for my liking, but you know, it's all right. There we go. Cool. So, just to recap, the base is just a very simple IKEA cheap and cheerful £1 sort of frame, which I painted black with some acrylic paints and then airbrush and gloss coats over it just to protect that and varnish it. The actual base underneath, and let's see whether we can get that shown on this camera here on the bottom left. So if I just bring the camera down, there we go, and now if we focus. So yeah, so the base, as I say, it's just an IKEA photo frame which I have painted black and gloss coated, and the picture underneath is actually some Google Maps imagery of Stanley Airport. It's the latest imagery, so it's not entirely up to date, but I've put it in black and white and sort of skewed it a little bit to give it a depth of perception. So it's kind of looking like the aircraft's flying towards it and dropping a bomb. So it just gives you an idea. The aircraft itself, so just coming back up, there we go, and we're going to zoom right in on it. There we go. So the aircraft itself, out of the box entirely, no added aftermarket or anything whatsoever. It has had the paints that I used were Mr. Hobby Aqueous Thinner with Mr. Hobby Self-Leveling Thinner. It's had a Tamiya X22 gloss coat which was thinned down with Mr. Hobby Self-Leveling Thinner as well. A Flory Dark Dirt wash just over it quite quickly, and then a Tamiya X85 semi-gloss coat thinned down 50-50 with Tamiya acrylics, and then I've just used some Tamiya weathering powders just round to the exhaust to make a bit of exhaust stains. The LGBs come from an Airfix 72nd scale Tornado GR4 boxing, because I won't be using them on that, so they're not the most accurate rendition of a British UK paveway, but at least it's not an American GBU 16 or GBU 12. So there it is. So what I'm going to do now is get some photos up for you and let you have a look at those, where I'll be able to do a bit more detail on them, and then I'll come back and say my my goodbyes. So guys, there you have my final reveal for the 172 Airfix Hawker Siddeley Harrier GR3. I've really enjoyed this build. As I say, there's a few little challenging bits amongst it, but that's all created by my own mistakes and you learn from them. But I've really enjoyed it. I do like the Harrier. And that's number 2 in my series of Harrier builds, and I've got a little personal project I will be doing every single one of them. So I've done a GR1, I've done a GR3, next one I'm going to do is probably the T4, so I'm sort of trying to do them in chronological order, and then bringing the FRS1, the GR5, the FAA2, GR7 and GR9. So the only one I'm missing, oh, and the T10, T12 as well. The only one I'm missing to be able to complete the set is GR5, but that's for a different video and different subject. So coming back to this one, yeah, great kit, really enjoyed it. Fantastic group builder, so some really nice work and some really good exchange on there. Be nice to exchange information with people about the Harrier and sort of helping a few people out with various things like loadouts and vice versa and yada yada yada. But that's the whole point of it, you know. It's the whole point of doing these group builds, is we get all together as a community and we exchange on sort of a common love, which is scale modelling, and centered around a particular area of interest, you know. So it would be I'd say an aircraft in this case, or whether it's going to be like for the RAF 100 scale SIG that Tim Head was about to start on the British Aviation in Scale, etc. So I think these are great opportunities for us to come along as a community, get together, have a bit of exchange, have a bit of banter, and just, to me, it brings a bit of lightheartedness into the mod. Well, yeah, lightheartedness. It brings purpose into the modelling because we're there and we're able to exchange and see other people's work and stuff. And if you're a bit like me and, you know, it's really difficult for me to commit to a club because of my shift patterns and stuff like that, then this outlet of social media, whether it be YouTube, Facebook, etc., is great, because it's like being a group and being with like-minded people, just not physically being there, which is the difficult thing. But, you know, I get to shows, and imagine most people get to shows as and when they can, and yeah, it's that's a good sort of alternative, sort of a substitute to the traditional modelling club, shall we say. Anyway, I'm going to wrap it up there and say thank you very much to Martin Lamont for organising this group build. I know he's got more coming in the pipeline. I've really enjoyed it, and I hope to be a part of future ones that he's organising. Thank you so much to everybody who's took part and the fantastic work they've all done. Thank you to everybody who's watched the videos, commented, liked, subscribed, and sort of interacted with me through the video or through the Facebook page. It's really appreciated, and thank you very much for your continued support. And finally, I'm going to say I hope you have a great time over the Easter weekend. It's Easter Sunday tomorrow, and then obviously Easter Monday is bank holiday here in the UK, so I hope you have plenty of time with your family. And that you have a great Easter time, and hopefully squeeze in a bit of time at the modelling bench as well. And with that, all I've got left to say is thank you very much once again, guys. Take care, happy modelling, and we'll see you soon. Bye.